Happy Sunday, everyone. So in this video, I want to talk about Romans chapter 10, verse 4. For Christ is the finishing of the law. We have to read the context carefully here. It says, for Christ is the finishing of the law, period? No. For righteousness, which the righteousness that is out of the law is as unknowing ones in regards to the righteousness of God, seeking to establish their self-own righteousness. Christ is the finishing of this pursuit, which is the law of righteousness, a few verses back in Romans 9:31. But Israel pursuing a law of righteousness did not come prior into this law, the righteousness that is out of faithing. You can't have it both ways. Where here on the screen is a comment that a Torah observer made to me saying that the word finishing, telos, means a goal, and that's not true. That's an adaptation and a twisting of the word to make it fit his narrative. The word finishing here is a noun, okay? It's the thing. Where the verb is when Jesus said, it is finished. John 19:30. So it is finished from teleo is the verb form of telos. Again, Romans 10:4. G50:56. The verb is G50:55. So G50:56. Telos is the noun. It's the thing. Teleo is the verb. Okay? So here you see, this is how the King James translates it. End. Where the verb is translated finish. This is not a goal to be reached. They want to still make it not attained or finished. Accomplish. To bring to a close, to finish something. Where we also have various derivations of the same word, where here we see the preposition epi, on, governing a superposition of a finishing, where Paul said, thus you are very unthinking ones, as ones having innerly origin begun in the spirit, do you now finish on, epiteleo, it in the flesh? Speaking of those who wanted to go back to the law, like these Torah people. So Christ is the finishing of the law of Moses for righteousness to every faithing one, but we who are faithing ones are not without the law of the Spirit. Romans 8:2, for the law of the Spirit of the life in Christ Jesus freed you from the law of valence and of death, which is the law of Moses, which could not accomplish the worshiper. Romans 3:27, hence, where is the boasting in the law of the flesh? Hebrews 7:16, it is shut out. By what kind of law? That of works, the works of the law of Moses? No, not so. But by the law of faithing, okay, so when we read Romans 10:4, for Christ is the finishing of the law for righteousness, Christ is the finishing of the law of the preceding covenant for pursuing righteousness, which here is self-righteousness. For they as unknowing ones in regards to the righteousness of God, seeking to establish their own righteousness, which Paul said in Philippians 3:9, to be found in him not having my righteousness that out of law, but that through the faithing of Christ, in the law of faith, the law of the Spirit. Not out of works done in righteousness, which yea, we did. Titus 3:5, Romans 9:31. But Israel pursuing a law of righteousness did not come prior into this law, the righteousness out of faithing, which is the law of faithing, which we who are faithing ones are not without law, but we are without the law of the works of Moses,